Hi, I hope you're all doing well. In this video I'm going to review 27 leg exercises based on their muscle building effectiveness. This is by no means a definitive list. There are a few exercises I haven't included, but I think for the most part the most common exercises are all included. This is looking at it from a perspective of a bodybuilder, not someone that's interested in strength or functionality. And this is of course my opinion, so you may agree with some, you may disagree with others, and that's fine. Let me know in the comment section below where you stand on this ranking. So I'm not going to spend too long explaining the reasoning behind putting certain exercises in a specific rank. I'm just going to run through them fairly quickly and keep the time of the video down. So we'll get straight into it without further ado in no particular order. The first one, the Smith squat, not a fan. I'm going to put that D. Unsafe. If you get stuck at the bottom, you've got no way to dump the weight. A bit awkward. Trajectory is not that great for most people. Hack squats, not really a fan of those. C. Feel those more in my hips, to be honest, rather face inwards actually. Dynamic lunges, going to put that a little bit further up on B. Balance can be a bit of an issue, which kind of takes away the intensity of the exercise sometimes, so it's the reason why it's not a higher rank. Vertical leg press, one of my favourites, probably the best leg press in my opinion. Really underrated. I mean, you never see it these days, but very quad dominant, extremely good exercise. Sumo deadlifts, D. Just not worth it for building legs really. You're better off focusing on that as a posterior lower back exercise. Stiff leg deadlifts, good exercise, going to put that as B. The reason why it's not high is just because you have to break inertia each rep. There's a lot of reliance on lower back strength. Getting the weight moving again from a dead start. Standing hamstring curl, D. Not really a fan of this at all, just doesn't feel that good. A couple of machines that I've used in my time, just not a fan at all. Standing calf raises, as far as calf building goes, I'm going to put that S, probably the best in my opinion. It's going to be the exercise where you're going to certainly lift the most weight, usually set up in a good way. I've never really used a standing calf raise machine that wasn't comfortable, so I would say that's an S. Okay, we'll go with sissy squats, B, a very good exercise, really underused. Great for quads, especially if you lean back. It's not really that good if you just go up and down. The benefit from a sissy squat comes from leaning back and jacking the knees out as far as possible. You're going to really feel it in the lower quads then. Hamstring curls seated, I think that's one of the best hamstring exercises going. I'm going to put that A. Solid exercise, really feels good. Seated calf raises, I'm going to put that as a B. Solid, but sometimes feels really uncomfortable with a pad on the knee, prevents you from going too heavy. We'll go with RDLs as an S. I think it's probably the best hamstring exercise. It's a toss-up between that and seated hamstring curls. I think seated hamstring curls are really good. This is better than stiff legs because you can keep the weight moving. You've got an opportunity to do more reps, more time on attention with similar weights as to what you would do on stiff leg deadlifts, but you don't have to worry about breaking inertia each rep. So you take away some of that reliance of the lower back. Quad extensions, solid quad isolation, probably the best quad isolation I would say. I'm going to put that as a B. Pendulum squats, the best machine I think. I'm going to put that as an A, really good. Low bar wide stance squats, D, not a fan. Mostly hip and posterior as opposed to quads. Okay, leg press calf raises. I'm going to put that as a B. Pretty solid, similar to the seated calf raises in my opinion. Definitely better with a horizontal leg press as opposed to a 45-degree angle for calf raises in my opinion. Laying leg curls, overall not the best, just from the machines that I've used. Never really set up that well. At my friend's garage gym it would be a lot higher, A probably, but I'm going off average of the equipment that I've used, and I would say average is quite lackluster, so I'll say a C. And that's the misfortune of relying on machines, because it depends how the machine's set up and made. It really determines the effectiveness of it. Horizontal leg press, pretty good. I'm going to put that as a B. Underrated. It's not really a cool machine to use these days, but very good for quad development. Okay, we'll go with hip thrusts, barbell hip thrust, D. Not a fan at all. You're wasting your time as a bodybuilder in my opinion. Don't really know what the fuss is about, and it's a faff to set up. Okay, you got the daddy barbell back squats. Nothing comes close in my opinion. Narrow stance, that is. Glute ham raises D. Not really a fan of it for bodybuilding per se. I think there are better options available. Front squat's going to be an A. Not quite as good as a back squat. The reason for that is, although the focus on the quads is fantastic, you're more reliant on your torso strength and shoulders and wrist strength, and you're more likely to break down in those areas. So you're really kind of hamstrung by your ability to be able to hold the weight in the right position. It's also a little bit awkward for high rep sets. Not as easy to perform high rep sets as barbell back squat. I just don't think it's quite as good as the back squat, which is why it's an A rank. Donkey raises, sorry. That'll be a C. It's a bit of a faff to set up again. You just can't get enough weight on it. You need 2 or 3 people to get the kind of right weight if you've been training your calves for some time. Even single leg, I was doing sets of 10 to 20 quite easily, single leg with a 95 kilo guy on top. So not the best. If there was a machine to replicate that, probably high. Deficit deadlift's going to put that as a C. Pretty good. It would be high with a trap bar for sure. It'd probably push it up to a B. Bulgarian split squats, I'm going to go with A on that. Very good exercise. You can do it either with 2 dumbbells, 1 dumbbell, or a barbell. A bit more difficult with a barbell and 2 dumbbells because of the balance issue, but I find the single dumbbell works really well when you can use the hand for balance. So a solid exercise. We've got the low bar box squats. Not a fan at all. That's a D, definitely. Just not worth the time for bodybuilding. And 45-degree leg press, I would say one of the worst leg presses. Although it's one of the most popular, I just don't feel it in the thighs as much as, say, horizontal leg press. It's good, but I often find the trajectory just a little bit off on the machines that I've been using. The range of motion isn't that great. It's a solid machine. I mean, it's fairly close to a B, but I would say I prefer the horizontal leg press for overall quad thigh development. So that's my ranking list, and I'm sure you'll disagree with many of those. So let me know in the comments section what your thoughts are. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to see more true natural bodybuilding content. Also check out my website. The link is in the description box below for info on online coaching. Thank you once again. Stay strong.